What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a freelance artist journey.
Hi guys. In this video, I'd like to show you some of the commission requests I come across during my daily commission acquisition routine. Now, work doesn't always just fall into my lap. In fact, it rarely does. I have to get out there and hunt for work. And, this is something that I've shared with you in past videos. If you want to learn more about that, you can check the link above. But here I'd like to share with you some of the commission requests I come across that are, let's just say, requests that I usually pass on. There's a lot of interesting stuff out there, a lot of interesting requests, and some of these, I thought would make a good video. And let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, let me say before I even get started that there are typically three different things I look for when I accept a commission. For one, the pay's got to be right. Number two is I look for that coolness factor in the project, something that I can get behind, something that excites me. And then three, is it meaningful? In that, does it have some substance to it? Is it about maybe it's a children's book about bullying? That there's a message there that needs to be told, and I can get behind that. Or if it is maybe a missionary trip to a faraway land that needs the gospel or something, just anything that is exciting and that has a positive message to it, something that I can get behind. So those are the three things I look for. If I can get all three, then that's a home run. If I can get two out of the three, then it's usually something that I will definitely consider and possibly even go for. But if there's only one of the three, then I may turn it down. And if there's none of them, then obviously I'm going to pass on it. So let's just take a look at some of the types of gigs I come across and why I turn them down. So here's one. Hiring digital artist. I'm looking for a digital artist who can create artwork that has one person along with tons of animals playing with her. My budget is $100 and I need it within 5 days at max. Will provide far more details to the artist who gets the project. Thanks. Now, when I read this, I immediately go to a Disney-esque type scene of the princess in the forest with all the forest animals kind of gathering around her. That's what comes to mind because it sounds cool, but my issue with this is that you're only giving me 5 days to do the work. Now, theoretically, I should be able to accomplish it in 5 days, but I like a little bit of wiggle room. And I usually ask my clients to give me a week or 2 weeks. I usually ask for more than I need so that I can, I like to under promise and over deliver, if that makes any sense. And to tell a person that I can get it done in 5 days, that puts a little bit of stress on me. I've done it before and I've surprised myself, but I'd rather not. But at $100, that's just not feasible for me. Now, maybe for some artists they could do it for that, but for me, to get something done and at that quick of a turnaround time for just $100, and I'm assuming that they'd want a colored image. And like I said, that in my mind, I'm seeing a Disney type of a setting. Maybe if it was just a sketch, maybe $100 is not that big a deal. But I'm thinking full color digital art because it does say hiring digital artists. So I'm thinking a color image or a color painting, and just for $100, with that kind of time constraint, I'll pass. So let's move on to the next one. Hiring multiple artists for a large project. I'd like to commission individual art pieces that I can use for a custom 52 card deck. Art must be digital, since I'll be using the files to order the cards online once I have all of them. Each card will need different art, and I don't care if the art comes from different artists. I have specific images in mind, but they can be drawn in your own style. I'll provide much more detailed information about each piece privately. I'd like to pay $15 per piece since they'll be small, but I'm happy to negotiate higher depending on what's needed / how much time or effort you need to put in. I'll respond to every one via DM. Thank you. Now, this request sounded interesting at first until you get down to the $15 per piece. In their defense, they're willing to negotiate because I know that they understand that what they're asking for is dirt cheap art. But the cherry on top is their justification of why the price is so low. Yes, it's going to be player card size or playing deck size, but usually when art that small is rendered or when it's created, it's usually created larger and then scaled down for print. If you want something that's detailed enough when it's shrunk down to a playing card deck size. So that's no excuse, for wanting cheap art, Now, 52 images, that adds up. I get it. But if you believe in your project, then you got to put out the money for it. And what I look at a lot of these projects and the commissioners that want them done. It's kind of like you have to pitch your idea to the artist and get them to believe in what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And if you present a strong enough case, then you might be able to convince someone to do something at a lower price. Maybe you're offering something more on the back end. A lot of people offer exposure, which we can get into that at another time. But art is art, and it's got to be created, whether it's the size of the side of a building or it's the size of a business card. It still needs to be created, and you want high quality, so you kind of have to pay for it. So moving on to the next one. Okay. Startup podcast that needs an illustrator to bring everything to the next level. I can't offer pay, but I can offer a partnership that can be discussed. Okay, so this is kind of like we mentioned before, one of those deals where they're offering you something other than money, like exposure. This is not exposure, this is a partnership. But again, look at yourself as an investor. You have to present a strong case to the investors that this is something worth their time and money. No, you're not asking for money, but in a way you are, indirectly. You're asking an illustrator or an artist to invest in you and invest in your project. What type of project is it, and why should they invest in it? These are things that you need to think about when you are presenting your case to the artist, especially if you're not coming at them with money. If it's a partnership, you know, you got to give us something more in the description of your want ad other than we can discuss later, you know. So, yeah, see, moving on. Looking for character line art. Paid request. Looking for someone to draw me 5 line art figures for a project. 3 are full body and 2 are waist up. Budget is about $50 to $60. Please do not send me cartoony Cal Arts Tumblr art examples. Anime and such are okay. Line art also doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Offers in the triple digits will be ignored. Thanks. Okay, this one actually got a chuckle out of me. Anytime a would-be commissioner or a client adds verbiage that is telling you what your work is worth, how long it should take, and that it shouldn't cost X number of dollars, that's an immediate red flag for me. They're on these sites looking for help. Why? Because they don't have the skills to do it themselves. So respect the artist enough to not insult people in your post like this. And $50 to $60 for 5 line art illustrations, that's on the low end. And again, when a person feels like they have to defend themselves in the post, then they kind of know that they're coming in lowball. And and so this person is clearly come across some artists that have challenged them on the price, and so they saw fit to kind of defend themselves ahead of time, which is funny. And I don't understand this Cal Arts Tumblr art examples. I don't know what that was. Maybe it was referring to something somebody offered before. Cal Arts is a decent school in California that I've heard of. I don't know any artists from there personally, but from what I understand, it's a decent program. And Tumblr has great artists on it, so I don't know where this comment is coming from. It's kind of odd, but again, when you're dealing with certain clients, and you read through these things, you have to kind of read between the lines before you get involved with them, and you find these red flags. And this tells me that this individual may be difficult to work with. It's possible. Is it fair to judge them without really getting to know them? Possibly not fair, but we're running a business, and within running this, we have to be judicious about who we work with and whose money we take, and because once you take a client's money, then for lack of a better term, they kind of own you, so you really want to be careful. You don't want to get into the endless cycle of revisions, and you don't want to have someone rip you off. So obviously you get your deposit up front and watermark your final image that you submit to them, or give them a low res image and tell them that you'll get the full high res image once you get final payment. All of these things, having a well written and spelled out contract, all these things safeguard against a lot of those pitfalls. But if you take the time to read through the requests initially, then you can pick up on little things that may tell you that this individual may not be the best person to work with. Not that they're not good people, And I have to be careful because a video like this could alienate me from future potential clients. Of course, I want to be fair to everyone, but at the same time, I want to be real. And so this is the process that I go through when I look at different requests, and I come across a lot more, a lot weirder, a lot crazier than this, and maybe I'll share them with you in the future. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, if you like it, if you would like to see more videos like this, then I'll definitely continue to collect and save a lot of the interesting commission requests that I come across and share them in the next video. Thank you. Love you. Have a blessed
Thanks again for tuning in. Please do me a favor and hit that little subscribe button and that little bell so you can be notified when the next video drops. Later.